ShartimusPrime, ShartimusPrime. Reading comics, toys are hella sick, hella whacking it, taking bad hits, taking bad shits. Subscribe for things.
Clean my nails with the Doctor Strange figure. Hey, what's up, you guys? ShartimusPrime here, still hella stoked on the Avengers movie, doing a review for you on the Marvel Legends Onslaught series Loki figure. This is a very cool figure, very underrated figure, but I do have my problems with it. This staff right here is actually not his weapon. Take that away and put in his sword instead. And there goes his head. Now, there are gripes that I do have for this guy, but really quick, you could see, well, his helmet, you know, kind of just came off right there. I don't know if it was just from the heat or whatever, but there is a variant to this guy. And that one looks pretty cool, but I always, you know, I don't know, I like Loki with the big horns. And I'm really stoked that they went with, you know, there's this Loki design from the comic called Loki. This is the hardback right here. And you can see by the artwork, and the cover artist is the same as the interior artist. But you can see just based off of that, like this is very specific, you know, to that design. So I thought that was very cool. You know, I actually really like this design, so I'm pretty stoked that they went with that. And I think he, you know, has a pretty good height to him and everything too. So I'll do size comparisons later on. And then this just keeps coming off, man. It sucks. Here, I'll talk about the detail of this guy first. I like the gold on it right here, and it's got this beigeish mustard yellow kind of going off the side. You know, on the flappy part down here is his horn. And then here's his two other horns. So very cool. And then the face sculpt is actually pretty damn sweet too. I really like how torn, messed up he looks in his face. God, it looks so stupid with that thing sticking out of his head. But look how cool his face looks though. Really like the sculpting in there. Very scarred. Very, very cool stuff. Hey, there's a bunny on his helmet, I just realized. Is that a bunny? Or am I tripping? And then that comes apart, and then there goes the cape. His cape is very cool too, even though mine's kind of broken, like right here, this thing's about to come off. But I like the texture of it. Looks pretty cool. Looks like fur, and then on the inside you could see, you know, all the pieces, how they're all sewn together. Thought that's pretty nice. Pretty cool. There's not much paint detail on this guy at all. There really isn't. But there's so many variations of colors, and the sculpt is so well done that you don't really miss it too much. You may notice if you already own this thing, I actually made a cut right here just so I can get his arm articulation to move up like that. But see, it doesn't move up so far on that side, but it can move up a bit more on this side, just a little bit more. I don't know. I like the silver right here on his pads. Looks pretty damn cool. Very nice. I like how you can see the stitching right there. I like how this looks like a different piece of fabric than this. There's his skirt cloth thingy. Got some color smeared. Knee pad looks good, consistent. Like his floppy boots. I don't know, well-made figure, man. I mean, I just think this is a very well-made figure, very underrated. It's just, you know, there are the gripes that, you know, I think myself and most people have about him, but, you know, and it's kind of, you know, it's hard to really get his head to tilt back all the way, even though you can if he doesn't have the helmet on, so he can look up all the way, but it's almost near impossible to do it with this helmet on unless you want to, like, have it kind of get into his face like that. Then that looks kind of weird. So this plastic right here is very, very strong. Like, you can't really bend it. So if this was, you know, a lot more pliable, kind of like a little bit more like this material, then you would be able to utilize that. But I think that's probably how mine popped off from me trying to get the head to turn back. But it moves side to side just fine. Like I said, he has ball joints on the shoulders that move up and out, but it's pretty limited on this side because I didn't cut in here, and I just cut, you know, in this line. It's pretty clear as day. He has double jointed elbows. His wrist moves side to side right there, right before, actually it's in between the forearm and the wrist. It's kind of weird, but it's in the middle of the forearm, and his wrist moves up and down. He has no individual finger articulation. Like you can see his jade ring right there and right there. And so they both have, you know, grasping kind of hands. He has the good ab crunch joint that we all love. Waist joint right there. thigh articulation, swivel, double joint knee, rotates at the boot, ankle moves up and down, ankle has an ankle pivot, and there's an ankle pivot, kind of a tricky ankle pivot. And it has a toe joint and peg holes at the bottom of the feet. Now his sword is pretty damn sweet. You know, as much as I do like this, I think that spear thing is cooler, but I like how you can see the Asgardian writing on it right there. And, you know, I don't think he comes with the sheath too, which I think is kind of strange, but, you know, I think this is, you know, pretty, overall, I think this is a very well done figure. Just to compare him to some of the other Lokis. Loki's playing tricks again! These are all my Loki figures, and, man, this movie one looks so sick. Actually, I'm really stoked that I picked this up when I did. It's still pretty much available, but it's a movie Loki figure. That's a comic series Walmart exclusive Loki that just recently came out, and here's the one I was reviewing today. Now here's the Marvel Universe Loki figure, which I think this is how I actually remember Loki the most, is looking like this in this costume. So this Marvel Universe one, you know, I think is actually, it would be really, really cool to see a 6-inch version that really looked like this. But this one is kind of close to it, you know, has that long ponytail and the horns are similar and everything. They all have pretty much the same horns. But, you know, that's just a comparison of how tall this guy is to the rest of them. But compared to Thor, so yeah, I think he matches up very well to this Thor figure. They make him look a little bit taller right there, but I think their height side by side is actually very well done. And the Series 3 Thor is like the same size as this guy. I think he looks best with the Series 3 Thor, who's up in a very cool pose up on my ceiling that I don't want to take down, so sorry. But yeah, and then comparing with Captain America. So he's a bit taller than Captain America, which I really like. You know, he's a god. Well, that's my review, guys. Hope you guys dig it, and I'll catch you later. Peace.
That's crispy.
Oh, that's Shartimus. He is so awesome. But now what should I do on the internets?
You go to BKBN.net! Here, let me show you, man! Big Kids Big News is #1 source for geek news, reviews, toys, comics, movies, cartoons, video games, and more! Next time you're done watching my videos, where are you going?
BKBN.net.
Where are you going?
BKBN.net.
So I think he should be. Damn, this helmet thing. I gotta re-glue it on there. Ugh. Alright, so frustrating.